Yep. How's it going? So, wanted to talk today about love, which is a very interesting topic. Um, this is one of those things you're really not gonna fucking understand until you understand, and even I don't think I truly fucking understand, but I'm closer to an understanding today than I was one year, 2 years, 3 years ago. And that is, no matter what happens in life, I really need you to understand that love is always there for you and always all around you. And it's one of those things that's given to you for free at no cost since the day you're born. But you will not cherish it, and you will not see the huge how amazing it is, because you'll be constantly distracted by other things. But you know what? When for example, are like out there chasing, like any young guy chasing girls or whatever, and then you get with a girl who you thought was like, oh my god, she's like, super attractive, she's super hot, I want to, this is like the girl I want to be with, want to fuck, and then you have sex, and it's, the sex is gonna be missing a key ingredient, which is, again, I'm talking about hookups in this case. The success sex is gonna be missing a key ingredient, which is love, and you're gonna have the driest, most whack sex of your life with no passion, and you're gonna be like, well, that was not what I thought it would be, and you're gonna have this experience across many factors of life. Maybe someone who you wanted to be friends with, or some career you really wanted, and you finally get to it, and you're kind of like, well, this isn't all that I thought it would be, and yet, around you, there might be things that have been around you since day one, like your family, who's always still. I'm not saying perfect family. Nobody has a perfect family, right? But your family or your friends who've been with you since day one, who genuinely love you, who you genuinely love, but we tend to take for granted because obviously we've had them our whole lives. One day they're not going to be there anymore. One day they're not going to be there anymore. And that's going to be real love that you will lose. And at that point, the value of it will be known, and it will be more than you could have, more valuable than you ever could have known or imagined. But similarly, regardless of whether you're super successful in life or you fucked up 10, 20, 30, a million times, and you're the biggest fuck up to ever exist. Some people call it God. I'm not super religious, so I have some different. This is gonna be a bit of a tangent. The reason I didn't get into religion personally is because of all the things I'm saying to you, because I believe that people, are deserving of love, which I think is that, geez, I've got me fucking crying making this video, but I think people are deserving of love, regardless of how fucked up they are. Because we as people, we all have different upbringings. We have 100 million different experiences. But when I was in like the religious community, it's like you couldn't openly talk about anything that you were doing that wasn't religious. You couldn't be like, yeah, I'm fucking struggling with gooning, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And these are real struggles people have. That's like a funny one I mentioned, but even other struggles. Maybe someone's struggling with alcohol. Maybe someone. But when you go to the religious establishment, you gotta, in order to actually get along with people, to not be judged, to not feel like you're being judged and people are looking at you like you're a piece of shit, you gotta, fit a very certain image. And that goes to the exact opposite of what I'm trying to advocate for, which is that regardless of how badly you've fucked up in life, regardless of who you are, what you do, you were born given the gift of love. And that's why I say things like you see in my previous video, like be proud of yourself, proud of be proud of your actions, because you have to, you have to have a love for the self and for others. Okay. And if that key ingredient is lacking, I think regardless of how much money you make, how many fucking girls you got, how many cars you got, how many XYZ, you're still gonna be in misery. If you got relationships with like fucking America's top models, but it's like they only like you because you're like famous or good looking or whatever, but they don't have any genuine love, and vice versa. Those are like absolute shit relationships, and they're gonna feel like shit. And anyway, that's also a tangent. But just know, regardless of who you are, what you are, You deserve love. And it starts from within. It starts from, again, taking that one step at a time to improve yourself, but also having a full acceptance of the self exactly how you are right now. There's no reason to think if you're like 300 pounds and you're trying to lose weight, you're like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit. I'm such a, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Slowly start improving yourself. But anyway, that's maybe even another tangent. Point to make. Love is the truth of life.